Anytime the Apollo program is mentioned online, you've probably heard the random, enthusiastic, yet commonly regurgitated quote, Stanley Kubrick confessed to making the moon landing videos. Is there anything to that? Where did it come from? Let's dig into it. With the cooperation of the US government and NASA, we faked the moon landing. All the moon landings were faked, and I was the one who filmed it all. Every single claim that Kubrick made the moon landing videos goes back to one source. Where does this quote exactly come from? Well, we know exactly where it came from. The quote comes from a fictional film released in 2015 entitled Shooting Stanley Kubrick. On the very movie poster for the film, it states, "In May 1999, an unknown filmmaker secured an interview with the reclusive genius Stanley Kubrick." What's odd about this? Well, Stanley Kubrick died March 7, 1999, 2 months before the poster says the interview took place. That's the first strike. Many other important points come from an unedited version of the film where it clearly states at the beginning, "not for public release." This one slipped out. During the video, you can again see the May 99 date at the bottom right corner of the video. That's a second strike. During the video, you can watch the director reminding the actor of his lines multiple times.
But we have to do it now.
No, because they were so close, you know.
Because we were so damn close. We had to do it now.
And if you didn't lie, you know, it would dry up. We were on the brink of something.
Yes, and if we didn't fake this, if we didn't lie about it, eventually people would lose interest, and the funding would dry up for NASA. It would just cease to exist.
And the dream.
And the dream would be dead. It would be gone.
As you can see, the director was continually guiding the actor through his lines. Interviewers don't tell the person they're interviewing what to say. Directors do tell actors what to say. That's a third strike. At the 36:50 mark, you can hear the director verbatim asking someone to give his actor his lines.
So about money.
And
it was about,
yeah. And
so no, yeah, I'm just giving you lines. So it was about the money. It was about the morale.
yeah, it was about morale. It was about money. It was about money. It was about morale. Chiefly money.
That's a fourth strike. The most compelling part during the film is specifically at the 24:13 mark, where you can hear the director call the actor Tom.
The longer the better.
It's common sense, Tom. You don't want your family.
Wait, what was that? Let's hear that again.
It's common sense, Tom. It's common sense, Tom. It's common sense, Tom. And your work to be sullied by this. That's why you want the distance.
Okay, all right.
This is common sense.
All right.
Why are you telling me now on why the delay? I mean, I don't really understand your motive.
I'm sensitive to the lives of others around me. I don't want my family to be affected by this. I don't want any reputations to be sullied.
Why would the director call Stanley Kubrick Tom? Because it's not Stanley Kubrick. It's an actor named Tom Mayk. That's a fifth strike. Let's see a side-by-side comparison of Stanley Kubrick and Tom Mayk talking.
It was Stanley Kubrick. I think it was only his second or third movie. Even though Kirk Douglas is in it, not one of my favorite actors, but it is my favorite movie.
But I'm in London making Eyes Wide Shut with Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. And just about this time, I'm probably in the car on the way to the studio.
I'm not one of these people, I know it's an unpopular thing to say, but I'm not one of these people who...
Reminds me of a conversation I had with Steven Spielberg about what was the most difficult and challenging thing about directing a film.
I know I've never been in a war, and maybe I don't have a right to an opinion, some people would say.
Now, let's listen to the actor from Killing Stanley Kubrick one more time.
The lives of others around me. I don't want my family to be affected by this. I don't want any reputations to be sullied.
Which one does that sound like to you? Now, let's go to IMDB and see what it says about the movie Shooting Stanley Kubrick. Oh, it lists the director as Patrick Murray, and who as the star? None other than Tom Mayk. That's a sixth strike. Apparent point? That's not Stanley Kubrick. To add to this compelling evidence, who would be a good person to ask about Kubrick's conspiratorial involvement with NASA? How about his own daughter? What would she happen to say about this? Well, in 2016, on her own Twitter, she stated the following: "There are many very real conspiracies that have happened throughout our history, but claims that the moon landings were faked and filmed by my father, I just can't understand it. The so-called truth these malicious cranks persist in forwarding. that my father conspired with the U.S. government to fake the moon landings is manifestly a grotesque lie. If NASA was wanting to fake the moon landings in the best way possible, they wouldn't have used Kubrick. They would have used the actual man who created the shots in 2001 for Kubrick, Douglas Trumbull. In the end, the money that would have been required to artificially create the videos that we see of the moon landings in the 1960s would have been outweighed by the money required to actually go there. So, the next time you hear someone bring up the Kubrick myth, give them some facts.